If you sound like everybody else online, if you're scared to show up as yourself, or you don't know how to show up as yourself, this is what I want to fix for you today. We're going to be awakening your inner power, finding your voice, and we're going to be becoming magnetic. Aristotle is known to have said, the beginning of all wisdom is knowing thyself. And the longer I've been in this industry and the longer I've been alive, I'm starting to really see that, because those people who make the biggest impact in this world sure as heck have spent the time to understand themselves. Unfortunately, most people avoid this topic altogether, but I want to make this as easy as possible for you today, step by step. So follow along with me, because you'll be leaving with a completed Know Thyself worksheet plus magnetic clarity that's ready for your bios, your about page, your content. This is the base of your magnetic founder operating system. I want to give you a walkthrough of how to uncover your hero's journey and create this asset that you can use as one of your foundational go-tos so that your audience, that your dream clients can connect with you on a personal level. This is how you will find your voice and give you that confidence to be yourself. This means that you will need to be ready to take the step in understanding yourself, knowing what your strengths and your weaknesses are, and adding that all important weight, one of the biggest weights you will, to your know, like, and trust factors. You're going to really uncover where you're going to be shining the most in your life and therefore in your business. By the way, my name's Gulfraz, and I believe that your best work, your best ideas should be as easy as possible for you to share. And that's why I make these videos, to help you help the people who need you the most. Now, understanding what your hero's journey is, there's 3 parts to this that we're going to be working through together. The first part is understanding your origin story. Second part is understanding the inciting incidents. There may be more than one. And the third part is understanding your defining attributes. These will all make a little bit more sense when I go through this with you. Now, this of course is important, because your story and how you share your story depends on how other people and how your people will connect with you. Each part of this is structured and designed for you to deepen the understanding of yourself and empowering you to build a more genuine and memorable personal brand. Don't forget, the link to this asset is in the description below. Click it, make a copy, and follow along. And the first step is going to be your origin story. Now, just picture characters that you know from movies, from TV shows, from books that you've read. Think about how you already understand their story, and let's apply that to yourself. So first thing is your backstory. Like, who are you? Where do you come from? The way that I like to write this out for clients and for myself as well is by doing it in like a year by year list. So you can start with, the year you were born, where you were born, talk about your earliest memories of your family, the people that you grew up around, your earliest experiences. I remember things from like back when I was, 3 and 4 years old. I have got a vivid memory of a lot of things that happened early on in my life. And it's very important for you to be able to write those early experiences down as well. So write them down, year, what happened, new line, year, what happened. It can be nice and short and sweet. You can maybe go back and add to it afterwards. But for now, just write down the first things that come to your mind. My backstory, for example, I would write down 1989. I was born in Halifax, West Yorkshire here in England, being the youngest of 6, 3 brothers, 2 sisters. To other things like, family days out, theme parks, things about my elder brother getting me a Game Boy for the first time when I was 9. Talk about that when it comes to your backstory and these defining moments and these things that really made an impact on you that you remember. As ugly as they can be as well. I mean, it's not only the good things, but we want to really uncover your origin, because there is gold in this. One thing I want to add while I'm saying this as well is that a lot of people that I've gone through this with always ask me, okay, but how is this going to relate to my business? And the answer that I always give them is, especially obviously if you are a purpose-led founder, somebody who wants their business to feel something and for you to feel fulfilled in the impact that you're making, you will understand that your story that you write about yourself is linked to your business, rather than trying to build a business first and then linking that business to your life. So just understand that we're looking at it from this sort of a perspective. There will be golden nuggets and things that we can associate with your business while we're doing this. So it's very important for you to just be as unfiltered as you can, very highly personal, and just go all out. This does serve a bigger purpose. Now, the second part of your origin story is the inciting incident. Now, a lot of people I speak to, and even for myself, there are many different inciting incidents that you've gone through. These can be things like key moments that have defined you or redirected you. Think about moments of change, moments of new opportunities or even challenges that you've had that were significant. For example, if you moved to a new city, doing that opened your eyes to whatever. Remember, the focus here is on those key moments that you think have defined you or redirected you in your life. So once you've spent some time jotting down some of the things that come to your mind, the next thing is any setbacks and comebacks that you've had. So this is obviously going back to the challenges that you've had in the second step that you did, but the resurrections are like how you overcame those challenges. How did you come back stronger? Like anything bad that happens to you in your life, it serves you in one way or the other. We can't sit down and say, woe is me. Over the years, I've always tended to believe that there is something that will serve me in this moment. So think about it. Go back into the challenging times that you've had and think about how you overcame those in whatever way it was, big or small. What ways did you overcome those setbacks and what did they teach you? For example, after losing my first job, I discovered X. Or after a breakdown of relationship with whichever person, this happened. Remember, do it in a way that is, year, month, and then you can write down what happened. Okay, so now you should have your backstory, you should have some inciting incidents, you should have some relapses and resurrections. Now, the second step of uncovering your hero's journey is recognizing your community. This is important. This is who you surround yourself with. Think about supportive figures like mentors, friends, people even that you've admired from afar. These are the people who have influenced or guided you. So for the recognizing your community part, first thing is, there's 3 things under here as well. So the first thing is who have been your primary guides. Some people have said it's my parents. Some people have told me about influencers online. Some people have talked about anybody, spouse, even children. Who has ended up being a life mentor or a guide for you? A coach, a teacher. How have they influenced your journey? For example, it could be like a college professor. Okay, so write that down. Write down some people who have influenced you. Second part is understanding who have been your closest allies, your friends, partners. For example, it could be a best friend. Like, my best friend helped me discover that this is what I was doing wrong and this is how I should have been doing it. Anything like that you can think of. And the third part is your supporting cast, you can call it. People who make up your larger community, your network, or your environment. Who are those people that make that up? For example, you could say that growing up in this sort of a community, whichever community you've had, has taught me whatever. You can write that down, whatever it's taught you. For me, my early mentors in my life, of course, with my family, my parents. I can't thank them enough for everything they've done for me. But I, funnily enough, didn't really have those sorts of mentors or guides until I was, later on in my life. So in my 30s, people who've inspired me from afar, people who've taught me things in the online space. These weren't people that I met in person. They actually added structure to the path that I didn't even know existed. Their content and their frameworks all planted seeds of possibility in my mind. And in a surprising twist, some of the clients turned out to be some of my biggest mentors as well. Working with 6, 7, even an 8-figure entrepreneur, they all taught me so many invaluable lessons and gave me like this front row seat of how top performers think. So sidekicks, I wrote down my parents, I wrote down, my wife, my children. Supporting cast obviously has been different at every stage of my life, and I'm sure it will be for you as well, but just write that down, write down your supporting cast as well. Okay, now the last part of uncovering your hero's journey, step 3, is uncovering your defining attributes. Now, I want you to consider attributes, things that make you you. Think about characters like Chris Do does a really good job at this, and he attributes these to like comic book heroes, which I love the way he does this. So think about comic book heroes, people like Iron Man. They've got specific symbols, catchphrases, personality traits. You have these too. So the first part of identifying your defining attributes is listing your strengths and vulnerabilities. List your unique qualities and your flaws. And I say flaws, but those flaws can also be flipped to turn it into your strength as well, by the way. And if you scroll to the bottom of the worksheet, there's actually a bonus little exercise that you can do to help transform any negative self-perception that you may have into something empowering. So check that out. Just write down what makes you resilient. Where, in what situations are you vulnerable? For me, for example, it's like I am known for my creativity, but I struggle with perfectionism. But I've flipped that perfectionism in a way that is a strength of mine as well. And in this section, I want to talk to you about a way you can do this. There are many tools and many things online that will help speed this up for you if you really want to spend the time in doing this, which I would definitely recommend. But there are different personality tests out there that you can rely on. I started off with the Myers-Briggs personality test, which is called 16 personalities. You can type that into Google. Absolutely phenomenal way of finding out your strengths and weaknesses at this current season of your life. It will measure you out of 4 or 5 areas of you as a person and attribute a percentage to those 5 areas so that you can understand where your strengths and weaknesses are. I've done this with a lot of people. It really blows my mind with how accurate it is and what you will be like as a friend, what you will be like as a partner, what you will be like in business. It's really, really interesting and eye-opening. Quick context, I usually test INFJA and my strengths are empathy and pattern spotting, and things that I need to watch out for is perfectionism, for example. Now name yours so that we can build a system that fits you. Now some people have said when it comes to personality tests that I don't believe in them, I don't believe they're accurate. And my honest response to those people is that you didn't do this from a place of honesty and truth to yourself. You did it from a place where you try to be somebody else and your answers are skewed because of that. You're not being true to yourself. You feel like you're on a pedestal and you have to prove yourself. No, it's about literally stripping back and just being as honest as you can. Instead of answering what you think the answer should be, you should be able to have a understanding of what you know the answers to be. Take this as an opportunity for you to understand what your weaknesses are. So don't dig your heels and say, oh, just because I'm this is all I'm going to be doing. Expose yourself to different environments, perfect yourself, polish off those rough edges, and just try to be a better version of who you are, so you're not blindsided or caught off guard. So there's many things I can go into, but the point is for you to understand yourself. The next part of defining your attributes, your uniform, you can call it your colors, your symbols. What are you known for? What is associated with you as a person? Are you always known to wear a cap? What visual element, style, or personal symbols define you? For example, if you're known to wear a specific color or having a particular style, put that down over here. It's very important as well to understanding yourself. Now, the next part is catchphrases and credo, you can call it. What signature phrases, sayings, or guiding beliefs do you have? Think about maybe some signature words that you say or the way you say them. Lean into that. You can write them down as well. Now, I've seen this firsthand. I've even seen it secondhand and third hand, but before we make content, this comes first because it puts meaning and purpose back at the center. So your business stops being like tactics and trends and it becomes a mission. This work is what creates clarity, which is what gives you speed. So that ideas are going to come faster, the scripts are going to get tighter, retakes drop. It creates consistency as well so that you can just post in character, not by, mood or how you're feeling. And it drives differentiation. So your story and what you stand against cuts through the sameness that everybody else is posting out there. And this is what builds trust. Your bio and everything else that you're going to be posting is going to feel more human, which earns replies and books aligned calls. Plus it's aligned with what you can sustain, so there's no burnout as well. Okay, so we've done 3 steps. This is the 4th and last step, and this is define the enemy you stand against. So there are 2 parts to defining the enemy that you stand against. Okay, so the first part, you can see it as your problems that you aim to solve. And the second part is more around your beliefs, your principles, your values. And as I've put over here, characters often have clear enemies or challenges that they aim to overcome, like Batman with a Joker. And if you're going to be showing up online as well as the face of your brand, your audience need to be able to see you for the problems that you're aiming to solve and the principles you oppose as clear as day. So this is a good little exercise to extract that information so that we can use this as a cornerstone of our business and in other aspects of our online presence. Now, the first part you can see here is your gallery of villains. Think about what specific problems or behaviors do you fix. So you can answer these questions. You can write those down over here. You can copy and paste them, but these are just here as an example for you to start thinking about the concrete observable issues that your audience runs into. And by the way, this side of things is fixable. These are the trends that come and go. Now, looking at the second thing, what you stand against, this is a really good exercise to try to extract those values and things that you hold. So if you think about the beliefs and the systems and the ideologies and principles that you reject, you can then start really solidifying the values that your company holds, that you hold, that your business holds. So think values level lines that you won't cross, even if it costs you. So what are the things that you stand against no matter what? So the things you stand against as your code, this doesn't change, it's timeless, as opposed to the villains where these are the things that actually change with trends. So I've got a few examples over here to get your mind thinking that you can do. Try out this experiment. Write down yours over here. This will allow your audience to see you for
what you are helping them fight and how you are helping them fight that.
And that's it. Excellent. You've uncovered your hero's journey in doing that. It's a revealing exercise. But now that you're probably fired up about who you are and the journey you've been on, we've got an asset that's made up of your origin story, your inciting incident or incidents, and your defining moments. These are what unlock who you are when it becomes clearer to you about the person you were meant to be, and the moment you accept what the world has been trying to tell you all along. This is how your avatar will connect to you. The main thing is, like, when you know yourself, you just stop pretending online. That honesty is what makes people, know, like, and trust you, and then end up being comfortable enough to buy from you. Okay, so a quick wrap up on where this fits. So this Know Thyself work is one of the first things that we do in establishing your foundations, of course. So try these 3 activations now. First, plug these into your online positioning. So inject your short version origin story that you created from part 2 of the worksheet into your about pages, your bios, and even visuals, so that people instantly get you and they can connect with you deeper. We can even use this work to plug it into a content plan. For example, your 3 biggest villains can become a weekly series. Your stand against lines can become short POV videos. Your story becomes your opener when it matters. Now, this can be in written form, images, or my personal favorite, video content. And thirdly, you can use your values and update your company's vision and mission. This is how we go from that inner clarity to creating those public assets to then getting those all-important booked calls. And I want you to remember as well, if an idea doesn't solve a villain or stand for a principle, it's most likely just going to be noise. If you want to share your Know Thyself document that you filled out with me, if you want me to help turn this into something for you as well, there's a link in the description. You can click on that. You can book in a call with me. It's absolutely fine if you don't, as long as this video helped. One thing I didn't touch on in this video is this idea of magnetism. I want to keep this short, but the main thing is, when you give something too much importance, when you become needy, when you become desperate, these are all things that push what you want further away. So if you really want to connect with your audience, you need to ditch these ideas of needing, wanting, desperation, being this needy person. We want to be giving. One of my company's values is give without expectation. Once you start giving freely, then will you start seeing the things that you want to see in your world. You just got to drop the expectation, drop the desperation. I know it's easy for me to say, but like I said, if you need any more help with any of this, there's a link in the description for you. Otherwise, I'm going to leave it as that. Stay blessed, have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for sticking to the end of the video. Take care. Bye-bye.